So we're seeing a bit of rain today. Carrie put the grafts into these two colonies yesterday, and I'm just wanting to take a peek to see how the cell acceptance was. I don't have a smoker going, so I'll just kind of quietly dig into these colonies. It's a steady drizzle right now. So this is the test colony. Three misses. So that's typical Carrie for you. Drawing out the cells quite nicely, actually. Two blanks. So they are basically the same for acceptance. Drawing them out very nice. So now the true test will be in the next 2 or 3 days on how much royal jelly is deposited into the cups, into the cells, where this colony only has supplement and this colony only has stored pollen in the frames. So I'm going to leave these guys alone. I'm getting soaked right now with the rain. Just loving the rain today. Hopefully it keeps up all day and through the night. So another kind of cool wet day today, so there'll be absolutely no bee flight. So even with all the precautions we've taken to keep the bees out, to keep them, no, not keep them out, but to keep that natural forage out of the hive, Carrie taped it up like Fort Knox here, and we have a pollen trap in the front. So they're not confined to the box, but they're not allowed to bring that natural resource in. But day like today, day like yesterday, when there is no chance of any type of flight, it really ensures that there is no natural forage getting into this colony. And I don't like disturbing builders at all. We disturb them one day after graft just to see what we have for take, just so we can do some planning. But after that, we do as little disturbance as we can. But for the sake of this, a little bit of smoke here today just to make sure they're not as cranky as they were yesterday. So these guys are eating the patty, as it shows. I think, yeah, they're eating this. There's 1.5 pounds on here, which is quite a lot. It's not like there's any young bees coming up to devour it. But this is the protein source they're going to be using to build out these cells, because that's all they have. Just want to see how they're filling out these cells with royal jelly. So they've accepted the cells yesterday. They started drawing out the cells with wax. Just get in my way. And they are nicely filling these cells out with jelly. This is going to be hard to show on the video, but they have probably 1/8 of a cup filled out with royal jelly. Some of them almost half. So not a lot of jelly in the cells, but they are filling it out. Cell like this one is about half full. That one's half full, that's an eighth full, that's an eighth. You know, that's, you know, just some of these are just a little bit of jelly in there. Drawing out the wax quite nicely. Put them back in here. So I'm expecting them to produce less royal jelly strictly on supplement, because that's, well, that's a no-brainer. I mean, they're not going to do as well, they're not going to produce as good of royal jelly for these queen cells as the natural stuff coming in. We can't replace natural pollen. But I just want to see, I'm just putting it to a test here to see how close we can get to filling these cells out as with the frames of pollen there. So I'm just going to take a look on the other colony. Get this back on. Probably don't need 1.5 pounds of this stuff. I'm cranky here today. Okay, so that's encouraging, seeing that they're drawing out the cells with some royal jelly in there. That's good. Let's just take a peek into the one with strictly pollen as a resource. Devouring your syrup. Still got some in there. Certainly a lot less messy. There's no patty up top. So drawing out their foundation. Okay, so what I'm expecting to see is cells that are consistently full of royal jelly. And they are. So these guys aren't too far off what the other colony is. So there's quarter cell, eighth of a cell. There's pushing on the half. That's 1/2. They're drawing it out real nice. This one's half. That's an eighth. That's an eighth. That's an eighth. They're pretty much the same. This one, you know, at the end, not as much. The guys at the end don't seem to. Well, those guys do. So I would say this colony looks like it's drawing out. It's depositing more royal jelly into the cups than the treatment, but I wouldn't say there's a lot of difference. So that's positive. What I need is a negative control. So after this little trial, and after I get some more builders, once we start shutting those other ones down, I'm going to run the trial again just to see with the negative control and just put it to the test with just seeing how much they actually draw out without any type of resource. Some of this might be all internal, but these are getting to be old bees. What we really need to see is what the colony will do without any type of resource. And you know, common sense will prevail, saying, well, they won't be able to draw out any type of royal jelly because they have no protein source to be able to develop it. But we need that there just to be able to show, you know, the difference between having no resource to having natural resource and having, you know, just supplement as a resource. So we'll put these guys back together, and maybe I'll just try to keep out of these nests until Tuesday. Wednesday is when about these cells, when they get capped over, and that's when we're going to come through and harvest all the royal jelly and do a weight comparison